I am currently in the world's busiest station, Shinjuku. In 2018 alone, 3.59 million people pass through this station every day, and it has a total of 53 platforms. Out of the 53 platforms, 35 of these belong to the main JR station. There are around 200 exits to the station alone, and you can walk through hallways like these and get to 5 directly connected stations just from Shinjuku without ever having to step outside. But why? The reason for this is mostly since Japan puts more emphasis on their subways and trains by making any other form of travel look expensive and inconvenient. Let's look at the data. The population of Tokyo metropolis is 9.27 million, and the total number of users of Tokyo metro trains every day is 6.84 million people, according to the Metro Ad Agency. This means 73.8% of the people in Tokyo use the metro to commute every day. Compare this with the Statistics Bureau, which shows 72.7% for 2019. This means that the percentage of people using trains in Tokyo is increasing. The population density in Tokyo is quite high. For example, here in Shibuya, 2,500 people cross this crosswalk every time the light turns green. Tourists and citizens alike wander the streets of Shibuya, but the main point of attraction is the comfort for pedestrians. Timed pedestrian lights, convenience stores placed around the area, and this, conveniently placed vending machines known as Jido Hanbaiki all over Tokyo for people to comfortably get a drink hot or cold. Japan solved the inconvenience of a train ticket through the use of Passmo, a money card that can store money for a train commute but can also be used in convenience stores or Starbucks. I have this on my Apple Wallet, but you usually get it as a physical card. The attention to the comfort of pedestrians and cyclists, giving them pedestrian walks and cycle pathways everywhere, is one of the main advantages that Tokyo has over other countries in terms of infrastructure. In Tokyo, there's power lines running everywhere above ground. Now you may be wondering, what are all these cables doing above ground? Because usually these power lines are stored underground. Well, the answer to that has a little bit of rich history in it, and you might want to know about it. It started in 1923, the Tokyo-Yokohama earthquake of 1923, or the Kanto earthquake with a magnitude of 7.9 that struck the metropolitan area near noon on September 1, 1923. Hundreds of concrete structures and thousands of homes collapsed on this day and were destroyed. There was an estimated death toll of 140,000 people. There was a fire resulted by the aftermath of the quake. The shock also generated a tsunami that was 12 meters high or 39.5 meters tall. It killed 60 people and destroyed 155 houses. World War II occurred after this. In 1941, the United States blocked the petroleum trade for Japan towards other countries, and Japan wanted to stop this. So on 4th September 1941, the Japanese cabinet met and discussed the war plans prepared by the Imperial General Headquarters. They decided, our empire, for the purpose of self-defense and self-preservation, will complete preparations for war, resolved to go to war with the United States, Great Britain, and Netherlands if necessary. Our empire will concurrently take all possible diplomatic measures in relation to the United States and Great Britain, and thereby endeavor to obtain our objectives. In the event that there is no prospect of our demands being met by the first 10 days of October, through the diplomatic negotiations mentioned above, we will immediately decide to commence hostilities against the United States, Britain, and the Netherlands. Japan decided to attack the British and American holdings and also attacking Southeast Asia and Central Pacific simultaneously. So, on Sunday morning, 7th December 1941, the Imperial Japanese Navy made its surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, Oahu, in the Hawaiian Territory. United States Navy and Air Force suffered significant losses. The Pearl Harbor was announced successful in Japan, although this did not completely wound the United States. Due to attacks and tensions from many countries, US, UK, China, Australia, and several other states formally declared war on Japan. On the night of March 9, 1945, Operation Meeting House, a firebombing air raid from the US Air Force took place, which killed an approximate of 100,000 civilians. Another 500,000 civilians died as a result of these bombings later on. Operation Starvation was initiated on March 27, 1945, bombing shipping containers in the Japanese Pacific waters. Japan still never gave up on the United States, however. In mid-August 1945, the US dropped 2 nuclear bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the first and only weapons used against another nation in warfare. The 2 bombs killed 150,000 people in just minutes, and many in the following weeks, months, years as a result of nuclear radiation. A total of 220,000 people were killed in this bombing. But how did Japan rebuild both cities and have it rehabilitated through radioactivity? You need to understand 2 things. Firstly, the bombs exploded in midair to achieve maximum shock waves, so the resultant products were pushed up into the atmosphere. Second, the amount of radioactive material was small comparatively, 70 kilograms of uranium-235 on the little boy and 7 kilograms of plutonium-239 on Fat Man. Some nuclear disasters like Chernobyl usually were a cause of highly radioactive nuclear detonation, but these bombs did not have harmful isotopes like cesium-137. And finally, it's a bomb, not a nuclear power plant. Hence, the radioactive charge is a one-time source of radiation and not long-lasting. So why does Japan have its cables overground, as you see here? Well, it was quicker to install after all of the war had destroyed all the cities. So that is why Japan was quickly able to rebuild itself from scratch. The people of Tokyo have a huge role to play towards the success of Tokyo's infrastructure. Regarded as one of the most caring people in the world, the people care about the environment and surroundings and help make the entire city clean and organized. These trains are not some technological advancement from trains in other countries. The stores don't have high-tech robots replacing people, and the houses aren't built from gold. It is a very simple process of smart engineering and well-planned infrastructure that makes Tokyo possible.